Hello, hi, good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to extend a warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for taking out time from your busy schedules and join us today for this webinar for MA Economics at Ashoka. My name is Munazar Rashid, and I'm a part of the Office of Admissions at Ashoka University. I'll be taking all your questions related to the MA Economics program. Today, we have with us two very esteemed guests. We have Urmi Singh, who's the Senior Director of Career Development Office, and Jayati Bhatia, who's the Assistant Director of Office of Financial Aid. I welcome both of you, Urmi and Jayati, for this webinar today. Before we begin, I'd like to inform our audience of this very important date, which is coming up in more than a week's time. We have the application deadline for MA Economics program on 30th of April 2025. I request all of you applicants, all of you audience to apply as soon as possible. Make sure you fill your application forms with all honesty and try as much as you can to secure your seats for the prestigious MA Economics program at Ashoka. To give you a little bit of a brief overview about the application process for the MA Economics program at Ashoka, all the applicants are required to submit an application form with us before the deadline. Again, reiterating, the deadline is on 30th of April 2025. After the submission of the applications, all the applicants are required to appear in a mandatory online assessment, which is going to be held on the 18th of May 2025. The online assessment is mandatory. All the applicants who submit forms with us need to go through this assessment to be considered for admission to the MA Economics program. Students who do not appear in the online assessment, those applications will be annulled. Then later, the decisions towards the candidature will then be announced after the rigorous evaluation of the application forms as well as their online assessment reports. Again, the decisions will go to the students by 30th of May 2025. Should you have any questions related to the MA Economics program, you can drop them in the Q&A box and we'll happily address them towards the end of this session. Without any further ado, let's get started. I have a set of questions prepared for both Urmi and Jayati. My first question would be for you, Jayati. First of all, welcome to the session. Thank you for taking out your time. Also, Jayati, please could you talk a little bit about the scholarship program available at Ashoka?
Yeah, thank you, Munaza. And hello and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the webinar today. Now, talking about the scholarships available at Ashoka University, well, we do have scholarships available, and these are need-based scholarships. So, which typically means that once you get an admission into the university, you have an option to apply for a need-based scholarship, which we also call as financial aid. Now, the whole idea or the purpose of offering this need-based scholarship is that we at Ashoka believe that quality education should be available to all and it should be accessible to all and it should not be dependent on an individual's ability to pay. So what is the main objective of this financial aid is that it looks at your family's financial standing and bases that criteria, it decides that how much financial aid or how much scholarship a student can receive. And talking about the impact of this scholarship, well, if we look at any program and any batch of students who are currently studying at Ashoka, nearly 50% of them are on some form of scholarship or some form of need-based scholarship. So this means that if you apply for this scholarship, then you can receive anywhere from a 25% waiver on your tuition fee to a full waiver on all the costs, which will include your tuition fee, your residence fee, as well as your meal cost. So hence this scholarship is not a merit-based scholarship wherein yes, you will qualify for it or no, you will not qualify for it. It's completely need-based. And depending on the need of a family, the committee then decides whether a candidate will qualify for a 25%, a 50% waiver, or maybe a full waiver on all the costs. And talking about who can apply for this scholarship, well, anybody can apply for this scholarship. There's absolutely no limitation in applying. Only a logistical step, which is that first you need to receive an offer of admission. So the day you will receive your offer of admission, which will be 30th of May 2025, your scholarship forms will be made available in the name of financial aid. So you will be given a login detail to enter into your Ashoka portal. And on that same portal, you will have a link where you can start applying for this scholarship. And the scholarship form will be available to you for 5 days. So then please ensure that you have all your documents ready and in place. So we urge you to visit the financial aid page on the website, which you can find under the admissions section. And there we have all the list of documents available, which you will be needing to fill in the scholarship form. So you can start procuring all these documents and be ready so that as and when this form goes live, you can immediately fill in the form within a day or two. And in case you have any queries, any concerns, then we do have a financial aid email ID available, which is postgraduate.financialaid@ashoka.edu.in. So you can always reach out to us on this email ID with respect to any queries, any concerns related to how you can apply for it. And if there are any questions related to procuring of the required documents, you can also reach out to us for that. So that's all about the scholarships.
Thank you so much, Jayati, for that very helpful answer. I'll inform my audience that every important information would be dropped down in the chat box. The email addresses would go to the chat box. The important links will also be available to you in the chat box. And I urge all of you to drop your questions in the Q&A box. My second question to you would be to you, Urmi. We'd like to know a little bit about the Career Development Office, how it functions, and what is its role in helping students, Ashokans, get their dream jobs.
Thank you, Munaza. Thank you for having me. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. As Munaza just mentioned, I am part of the Career Development Office at Ashoka University. This office works very actively to ensure that those looking for an opportunity, I mean a job opportunity, to apply what they learn in the classroom and further their own learning through internships, jobs, and other career options, have access to the right career opportunities and that they set off on a sustainable career path. Now, this office is connected to with over 1,500 organizations across sectors and continues to grow its network through ongoing outreach. We are about 650 organizations plus that have shared roles with us so far for placements and internships. It's a 15-member strong team that works together to make sure that you get the right opportunity and right job after graduating from Ashoka University.
Thank you. I have one more question for you, Urmi. Could you also please, shed some light on the kind of career opportunities that our students go for? Usually, an MA economics program student from Ashoka chooses, and also in particular, what are some of the, MA economics students? Where are some of the current MA economics students placed, and in what kind of roles?
Right. Before I, answer that question, I would also like to highlight that we start early with the first year students from the MA cohort with something called career planning activities. It's a career preparatory program. Now, before a job even lands Ashoka campus, we prepare our students to compete for these extremely competitive, selection processes. A part of which is industry overview. We have sessions with alumni or senior level managers telling them about what the industries look like, because a lot of times students are perhaps not aware of all the industry that can come to Ashoka and hire. We help them in resume building, in LinkedIn building up their LinkedIn profile for networking. We help them understand what could be the roles. So there are lots of steps that we work with right from year one of MA program, so that by the time the student is graduating, he or she is well equipped with market awareness and is prepared to take on the processes. Coming to your second part of your question is that what are the kind of roles, especially for MA economics? Largely the roles are research intern, research management trainee, analyst, associates, sometimes consultant at Office of Economic Advisor. We once had a role like that. Uh, Data science, analytics. These are some of the roles that have come to Ashoka to hire from this cohort. Some of our students also get absorbed in Ashoka as teaching fellow. Sometimes they get hired in consulting firms for analytic consulting. We have an interesting recruiter, Fractal Analytics, who hire for different role, which is Imagineer. So there are different roles coming to Ashoka to hire from MA Economics cohort.
Thank you so much again for that very helpful answer, Urmi, as well. We already have some audience questions coming in. First audience question is, do we have to go to a center or come to Ashoka University for assessment, or do we have to be at home? Like I said, the assessment, the mode of the assessment, the entrance test is online. You can take the test from the comfort of your home. All you have to do is to ensure a stable internet connection, a compatible device, for which instructions would be sent to you prior to your assessment. Go through those instructions in detail, but you do not have to go anywhere. You can definitely take the assessment from the comfort of your home, ensuring a very strong internet connection and a compatible device. There is one more question, and I think Jayati, you'd be the right person to answer this question. Are there 100% scholarship opportunities only available for those who have SC, ST categories, or they can also be available for any minorities falling in general category?
Okay, well, the 100% scholarships are available to anybody who qualifies for it on the basis of need. We absolutely have no criteria on the basis of the caste of a student or the background. Like if they're coming from a minority background, we don't consider these parameters as a decisive factor in terms of evaluating the financial aid or the scholarship of a student. So it's completely on the need of a family. And for need basis, we ask you to submit your parents' ITRs, their bank statements, and if anyone in your family is engaged in a business, then we also ask you to share their business details. And basis all these parameters, it is decided how much scholarship a student will get. But it is absolutely not decided on the basis of your caste or if you're coming from any minority background.
Thank you. Thank you again, Jayati. Next question would be directed to you, Urmi. Does the Career Development Office help the students, help the MA Economics students pursue their PhDs, and how does the CD office help in that sort of department?
Right. Higher studies come under the Career Development Office, and there are separate team members who work very closely with you to understand your aspirations and understand which college would fit your dreams and aspirations where you want to go. So, to answer your question, yes, we have dedicated team members to help you go through the entire application process for higher studies, including PhDs.
Thank you. Thank you, Urmi. One question is for financial aid. In case we miss the financial aid deadline, is there a way we can reapply for financial aid?
No, we are very sorry, but since our timelines are very, very stringent, so we would request you, and also all our timelines are mentioned on the website. So therefore, if there's a delay at your end, we will not be able to consider those requests. You can reach out to us within the 5-day window in case you have any queries, any concerns, and we assure you that we'll assist you in the best possible manner so that you can fill in your form within those 5-day window. And still, if needed and you need some extra time, we can decide, but it's important for you to reach out to us within that 5-day window. If you do not reach out to us within the 5-day window and once the deadline is over, then we will absolutely not be in a position to support you or help you with any extension or with any other concession.
Great. That is a very helpful answer, Jayati. There's one more question in continuation to the same question that I asked you. In case a student does not get scholarship in the first year, can they reapply in the second year for the scholarship?
So yes, students do have an option to reapply in the second year, but the reapplication will only be considered if there's a drastic change in your family's financial circumstances. So just because you did not get aid in the first year and you want to apply for it in the second year will not qualify for you to be eligible to get a financial aid in the second year or the scholarship. But if in case something is drastically changed in your family's financial planning, there has been a loss of job of an earning member or maybe a loss of life, then of course you can reach out to us and then we can take it forward from there.
Thank you. One question is there any interview round following the entrance examination? Yes, we used to have interview rounds as, part of the application stages previously, but from this year onwards, the admissions committee has revoked the interview round. So there'll be no interview round from this year onwards. After you sit for your assessments, your application forms along with your online entrance test reports will go through a rigorous evaluation process. and decisions would be conveyed to you right after you sit, right after your online entrance examinations are conducted. Um, there's one question. Are there teaching or research assistantships available for MA Economics students, current MA Economics students, and how does the CDO office help us in availing those opportunities?
Yes, there are opportunities like that are available. When an opportunity opens up, we get to know about that, and we put it up in our internal portal, which is called Superset. Once it's on Superset, it's for students to see and apply, and we take it up as any other process.
Thank you. Thank you, Urmi. That's very helpful. Can international students also apply for these assistantships, the teaching assistantships that we're talking about right now?
Yes, they can apply it for within Ashoka but these are just part-time opportunities. These are not full-time jobs. While
Great.
you're on campus, then you can assist the professors in a teaching assistant role, but these are not full-time opportunities.
All right, great. The one attendee is asking a question which says, can you give us some exact figures of placements if we have any, or any median salary approximation?
Median salary for MA Economics last year was 12 lakhs per annum. This year we haven't closed placements yet, so I'll not be able to get to the data. But last year we closed at 12 lakhs per annum for MA Economics.
Thank you. Can you tell me a little bit about the assessment and what it'll be like? So the assessment, like we said, is online. Since the MA Economics program does not have a prerequisite for only students with an academic background in economics to apply, it's open to students across all disciplines. Therefore, the online assessment is not centered around economics per se. So the structure of the MA Economics entrance examination is as such that it has 4 sections, out of which 2 sections are mandatory, which check statistics, the knowledge on statistics and general aptitude. There's 2 optional sections. One is a mathematics section and another one is an economics section. Students have the freedom to choose one out of these 2 sections. This liberty helps the students with a non-economic background to also sort of appear in this online entrance test with having no advantage or disadvantage over one another. We'll drop the links to the sample questions. The sample questions are also available on the website. You can go to the website. You can see the sample tests for MA Economics. We'll also drop in the links in the chat box. But this is roughly what the structure of the online entrance examination is. When the other question says, when will the admission test be conducted? The admission test will be conducted on 18th of May. It is an online entrance test. You can take the test from the comfort of your home. All the timeline, the dates of the timeline are present on the website. We urge all of the attendees to visit the website, go through the timeline very rigorously, check all the dates, make note of all the dates. The deadline's approaching in a couple of weeks, so do not miss on those deadlines. One question is, Jayati, you'd be again the right person to answer this question. On average, how many students out of the total seats get the financial aid? Is there any cap on the annual income of family for being eligible for the financial aid?
Okay, well, on an average, we've seen that more than 50% students do qualify for the need-based scholarship. And as such, there is no income capping for financial aid. So anybody who wants to apply can apply for this scholarship. And it's absolutely, I'm sorry, this is absolutely free of cost. So you do not have to pay anything for this scholarship form. You just have to spend, I would say few hours from your day just to ensure that you fill this form holistically and completely so that we can get a fair idea about your family's financial background.
Thank you. What has been the highest CTC so far, Urmi?
This year, I'll talk of this year, it's 16 so far. But as I said, that we have not closed placements yet. So we are hoping to get better than that.
Thank you. what is the batch size? We do not have an exact approximation of what the batch size looks everywhere. It totally and entirely depends on the quality of the incoming cohort. So the batch size roughly varies from a good number from 30 to 40, 45. But we do not have a very stringent, do not have a very strict figure as to when it comes to the batch sizes. Can you give us some specific examples of roles that the MA economics students have taken so far?
This is for me, right? Right. Um, Program manager, analyst, graduate trainee, management trainee, business analyst, finance management trainee in finance. So basically, MA economics students are sharp with math, stats, numbers. So the role of an analyst or a researcher fits in very well. Largely, the students go in for these roles.
Thank you, Urmi. Again, another question in continuation to this. How does the Career Development Officers Program prepare students for roles in government and also in think tanks or any other sectors in the private sector?
We really do not have too many opportunities coming from the government. However, if there is a need, then we have a special body that helps us in preparing students for every role and every industry. We do one-on-one session, we do group session. If there is a role that comes in from government, policy, think tank, or whichever industry, we will make sure that you are linked up to the special resources that I'm talking about, and you go through their group session as well as one-on-one sessions. You're oftentimes assigned a mentor. We'll make sure that you go through all these programs so that you're well prepared for the role. So it really doesn't matter whether it's a government role or a corporate role or a startup think tank role. Whatever the role is, we handhold you in preparation. We make sure that the resources are assigned to you, whether in-house or external, but you are well prepared for the interview.
Thank you, Urmi. Jayati, does the financial aid office also help us avail the loan options? And what should we consider when we're choosing several loan options?
Yes, so we do have tie-ups with four education loan partners, which includes Propelled, Credila, Avance, and We Make Scholars. And in case any student is interested in pursuing an education loan, they can write to us and we will connect you with the concerned person. And since they have a tie-up with Ashoka University, so they will be offering you the best rate. The rate of interest will be the best percentage which can be offered across other education loan partners.
Thank you. Do we have a specific cutoff? A student is asking. No, we do not go by a specific cutoff again. I will use the same answer that I used for one of the questions asked earlier. We do not go by any strict rules when it comes to the cutoff. It again entirely depends on the quality of the cohort, the incoming cohort. We rigorously go through the application form. If you see our application form, it's a holistic way of understanding our students. We check their not only their academic performances, we also check the non-academic performance they've so far, their extracurricular engagements, the internships or their research interests that they have previously dwelled in. The application form in itself is a holistic way of understanding the student beyond their academic performance. And moreover, there's personal statements, which sort of helps students to express themselves in a very honest way, cover gaps that, maybe their academic performances show some gaps. So the personal essay in itself, the personal statement in itself is a great way for us to understand the student on a larger level than just by their academic performances. Then you will see many segments in the application form that cover various other areas like the the excelling performance in the extracurricular engagements, also any research internships that they've taken up so far, any jobs that they've done so far, so any professional engagements as well. The application form in itself gives students a lot of space, a lot of liberty to express themselves freely. And now, while we go to the next section, the next stage of the application process, which is the online entrance examination, that also sort of helps students to because again, the MA Economics program is not only centered for students with an economic background. We have a past record of students from engineering backgrounds also coming and applying to the MA Economics program. We have English literature students who came in and applied to the MA Economics program. So the examination, the online entrance examination, is designed in a way to cater to every student coming from various different academic backgrounds. So we do not go by a strict cutoff. We have a very different rule. We have a very different way of assessing our applicants beyond their academic performances. So I hope this answers your question. We move on. Urmi, can you give us some names of the top recruiters that come to Ashoka?
Surely, specifically for MA Economics, we have WNS Global, Fractal, Dunnhumby, McKinsey Knowledge Center, Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, Tata AIG, Axis Bank, Barclays, Clicks Capital, Axtria, Genpact, etc., etc.
Thank you. Thank you. That is a very detailed answer. How many applications do you get every year, and how many out of them do you choose? So I'll give you an estimation of the number of applications we have received so far in the previous years. Last year, we received applications closer to 780. Before that, we received applications closer to 600 to 700. So our applications go up every year by a huge margin. And out of these, because it's a very competitive, the application process to MA Economics at Ashoka is a highly competitive process. We had 3 stages of application, 3 stages in the application process. Last year, we cut it down to 2 stages this year. Last year, we also had an interview round. This year, we revoked the interview round. We've gotten away with the interview round. We only have the application form submission and the online entrance examination as the part of the application process. But out of all of these, roughly we give offers to closer to around 40 to 50 applicants everywhere out of the entire pool that we receive. We'll give you. I have another question for you, Urmi. This could also sort of, be revolved around your connections with the alumni office. Can you share some examples where recent MA Economics alumni are placed? What are they working now? What are they working at now? And what sort of networking can we build with the alumni at Ashoka?
Networking with alumni at Ashoka is simple because we have all the data. You could work either with us or with the alumni office, and whichever organization or alumni you are interested in, you can always reach out. In my experience, the alumni pool, they are very helpful and they're supportive. Therefore, they would be all out there to help you. We have many business analysts working in Deloitte US office in India. We have consultants working in EY Parthenon, Samagra Governance. Again, there are associates working. Genpact, as I earlier said, there are managers, assistant managers. In this Insights, we have alumni working as gone in as associate, now senior associate. AB InBev, we have for the GCC, we have analytics, our MA Economics student working at Dunnhumby. So there are many of them working in many organizations across. The data is available. We are happy to help you as soon as you're on campus.
Thank you. I have more questions for you, Urmi. What kind of support is available for resume building, interview preparations, and job search strategies as a part of the counseling program that CDO runs?
Right. As I earlier said, there is a very robust career preparatory program. Right when you enter campus and get enrolled in first year of MA program, you enroll with us as well and become a part of the career preparatory program. So there are 2 kinds of students in each cohort, right? There are students who are asking for jobs, and then there are students who are keen on higher education. Those who are looking for placements and asking for jobs mandatorily must be a part of the preparatory program. Within the preparatory program, we have resume building sessions or the other sessions that I mentioned. Now, how do we do it? We have internal resources who are skilled and trained to help you build your resume. We also have external resources who go through your resumes and tick it off as being okay or not okay. So we are collaboratively working with both internal and external resources to make sure that resume fits into a certain standard and certain format that is expected out of an Ashoka student. The second part of the question was, how do we map the aspiration to the market? Again, we talk to you one-on-one counseling. We are all available for something that we call office hours, where you seek appointment, come and meet us. We talk to you at length, understand what your aspirations are, tell you about the recruiters that we have, and try to map your aspiration to the recruiter pool, and then find out how we can connect you up. If the recruiter is not yet onboarded with Ashoka and you have a new set of aspirations, then we are very happy to link you to those recruiters as well.
Thank you, Urmi.
One more
Yeah.
thing, again, with alumni, we also work very closely with alumni. Somebody was asking about alumni for preparation as well. So as you become a part of the career preparatory program, you will yourself get to meet and interact with a lot of alumni, whether it is resume building or industry specific resume building, group discussion, interview preparation, etc.
Thank you. Thank you again. Jayati, over to you. Can you provide a breakdown of the total cost of attendance, including any hidden or miscellaneous fees?
Yeah, sure. So the total cost of the program is 6,59,400, which includes your tuition fees of 5,64,000. And residence, of course, it's a off-campus double occupancy residence, but you have an option to opt for it or not opt for the residence. And if you opt for the residence, then you have to pay 90,000. This is the annual amount. And there'll be a charge for your essential services, which covers your medical insurance and the laundry service, which amounts to around 5,400. So the total comes to 6,59,400. And for meals, a minimum of 10,000 is charged per semester. So that is 20,000 for an year. But you will be charged on actual and consumption basis. So as you will be consuming your meals, you can get coupons from your ID card. It will be on a post-paid basis. So first you can consume the meals, and then in your next semester invoice, the amount for the meals will be charged, which I think typically we have seen is around 30 to 40,000 for one semester. But 10,000 is a charge which you have to pay for your meals, which is a fixed charge. And that is redeemable with whatever you will be consuming from the mess. And we also have a special counter on campus, which is from the dining area, TKS counter. So you can also avail any special combos from there, or you can go for the dining buffet available in the campus premises. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Jayati. One more question is for you. Jayati, would you explain the financial aid brackets that a student is eligible to get? Where does the financial aid start from, and up to what extent can student get the financial aid?
Okay, so the financial aid brackets are divided into 6 main brackets. So the minimum waiver which a student qualifies for is a 25% waiver on the tuition fee. So this will cover around 1.4 lakh per annum of your fees. Then next is 50%, which is 2.8 lakhs. Then 75%, which is 4.23 lakh. And the next bracket is 100% waiver on the tuition fee, which is 5,64,000. Then, as per need basis, if you have qualified for the entire tuition fee waiver, then the residence fee waiver amount will start. So the next bracket, which comes is 100% waiver on the tuition fee and 50% waiver on the residence cost, which means that you can get a waiver of 6,11,000. And the next bracket would be a full waiver on your tuition and residence fees, which will cover 6,59,400. And the final fee bracket is a full waiver, which includes your tuition, residence, as well as meal cost. So, which means that a student will need not pay anything to the university when they are accepting the offer.
Thank you. Again, I have another question for you. What are some important documents a student needs to be wary of while they're filling up the financial aid form?
Okay, so few very important documents which each and every student needs to submit when they're applying for financial aid is, first is their earning parents ITRs. So we need the detailed ITR of your earning parents for the last 3 financial years. Then if your parents are salaried employees, we would also be needing their salary slips for the 3 months, last 3 months, and bank account statements for everyone for the last 12 months. Then if anybody in your family is engaged in a business or they are self-employed professionals, then we will be needing those professional or business details, which includes the financial statements for the last 3 financial years. And financial statements typically comprise of the profit and loss statement and the balance sheet of the business. Then we will also be needing Form 26AS of the business for the last 3 years, ITRs of the business for the last 3 years, GST returns again for the last 3 years, and bank account statements for the last 12 months. So this is all we need for your business details and for the income details. Coming to the wealth section, so if your family has any investments in FDs or mutual funds or a PF or a PPF, then we will also be needing proofs of that. And if they have taken any kind of an education loan against a property, against a vehicle, or they have any kind of personal loan, then we will also be needing the loan statements and the EMI repayment schedule as well. So these will broadly be the documents required when a student is applying for the scholarship.
Great, lovely. I'm a Haryana domicile applicant. Is there a provision on fees basis on my Haryana domicile certificate?
Yes, so if you are a resident of Haryana and if you have a Haryana resident certificate, then you do qualify for a SPE concession, which will be a 25% waiver on the tuition fees. So you can either attach the certificate in your application form, else if you're applying for financial aid, you can also attach it there, or you can mail it to us on the postgraduate.financialaid email ID. And just by giving the certificate and the latest ITR of your parents, you can avail a 25% waiver on the tuition fees.
Okay, great. In addition to that, Jayati, please help me understand if a student is a Haryana domicile student and they're also eligible for the need-based financial aid, right? So if the student applies to the need-based financial aid and also is eligible to avail the 25% off on the tuition, can these two be clubbed together?
Okay, so if you apply for the need-based financial aid or the need-based scholarship, and if you qualify for more scholarship basis that, then that will be applicable. But if you do not qualify for any need-based scholarship, then due to the Haryana resident certificate category, you can avail a 25% waiver,
Okay.
which will actually be a fee concession.
All right, that makes sense. One more question for you, Jayati, is, hold on. Yeah. So if I'm given a particular amount on the financial aid, and if I'm not happy with it, a student is asking, can I apply for reconsideration?
Yes, we do give you a window to apply for a reconsideration. So the date when your financial aid decision is released, the same email which will inform you of the decision will also mention that you have a 2-day window wherein you can write to us for a reconsideration if you feel that you will be needing more financial aid, and in case there's something you want to share with us, that is another option for you to mention any financial changes in your family, and then we can discuss it with the committee again, and if they feel that yes, maybe your request is a credible source and we can consider that, then there could be a revision of your decision.
Right, that makes sense, right? A student's asking, should a student include their unique personal challenges while writing the personal statements, or should it be strictly academic? So like I said previously, the application form is a holistic way of understanding the student, and doesn't only mean understanding the student in an academic way. You should write starting your statement of purpose with a motivation, with an introduction. Help us understand the motivation behind applying to the program that you're applying to. What personal experiences brought you to what personal experiences brought you to applying to that course? What also academic experiences brought you towards applying to that course? Give us your academic background. Tell us where your undergraduate education has been from, what courses you have taken, what courses have sort of cemented your interest in the field of economics. Tell us about some research or professional interests that you have developed in. There's many other segments of, there's many different areas of economics that you can cover. Tell us where your interest actually lies in. Also help us understand why would you want to do this program, and why would you want to do this program from Ashoka, what career goals you have, and close the paragraph with a reaffirmation. Sort of also include personal experiences. We do not only want you to include your academic or professional experiences that cement your interest in the program, but also help us understand where your personal background also plays a very important role. I hope that answers your question again. What is the time of the assessment? How many questions would we get, and what would be the time allotted? I have put in a link for the sample test. For the sample question paper in the chat box. I'd urge all of the attendees to go through that sample question paper. You'll get the idea about what the structure of the question paper looks like, how it will look like. The duration of the online entrance examination would be 2 hours and 30 minutes. Another student has asked if we receive a mock test. Yes, we do send you demo assessments that sort of familiarizes you with the testing portal. It doesn't give you an idea about what the question's going to look like, but it will only help you understand, help you get familiar with what the testing platform looks like. It'll help you see if your devices are compatible with the assessment. It'll roughly make you understand, make you familiar with the testing portal, how to swipe to the next question, how to answer your questions. So if that is what your understanding, if that's what your question about the mock exam is, that will be it. How to practice for maths and stats section. The maths and stats sections covers a lot of areas, and these areas are largely what a lot of students cover in their undergrad and in their 11th and 12th grades. You'll be required to cover areas like set theories and logic, functions, limits, integration, single and multiple various calculus, linear algebra, such as some examples. There's also recommended textbooks that you can go through while you're preparing for this entrance examination. There's a book called Essential Mathematics for Economic Analysis. You can go through that book. I have also attached the link towards the syllabus for the MA Economics entrance examination for Ashoka University in the chat box. You can go through that link. It will give you section-wise syllabus, and towards the bottom, at the bottom of the document, you will also find the recommended textbook. I urge all of the attendees to go through that syllabus in a larger detail. And in case you have any more questions about the MA applications, MA Economics program, we'd be happy to take them through email, through this chat box if you're still here. So there's one ending question from an audience, and Jayati, again, you'll be the right person to answer this. Do you consider existing loans also for financial aid?
Yes, we do consider. So in the form, as I mentioned, that there are options for you to mention any education loan you have, any personal loans, any loan against a vehicle or a house. So you can mention these loan details in the form. And yes, it is also considered when evaluating your need-based scholarship.
Thank you. Thank you. I think here we come to the end of the question answer session. I'd request Jayati and Urmi to give us closing notes, and we'll be happy to take them. And then we'll wrap up this session after your closing notes.
Yes. Urmi, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Economics is a domain that is getting more and more traction with recruiters. Analytics is a career option that every industry require. So there's a lot of demand for economics, and a post-graduation in economics in particular there is a lot of demand for that. MA Economics in Ashoka makes sure that the faculty that you learn from, the peer group that you learn from, along with all the offices such as ours, makes your entire learning experience very robust and holistic. There's also a possibility for you to, create an interdisciplinary kind of learning and make use of other departments that are also present in Ashoka. So it's a fun run. It's a good time to enroll in MA Economics program. I hope all of you do give the test and get enrolled and accept the offer. We are here waiting for you, looking forward to start the journey together.
Yeah, that's
Over to
great.
you, Jayati.
Yes. So yeah, so we are there to, help you realize this dream of joining the university. So once you get your application sorted and you go through the, test and get an offer of admission, then please do apply for the scholarship. As I mentioned, that it's a completely free of cost, and we are there to, support you and guide you in this process. And rest be assured that our aim is to ensure that, we try to bridge the gap between the cost of the program and your ability to pay. So as honestly and as openly you can mention all your family's details, financial details in the form, the more honest you will be, it will make our jobs easy to ensure that you get the required support from the university. So for now, just focus on our applications. Wish you all the best for that. And then when the time will come for financial aid, please feel free to reach out to us.
Thank you, Jayati. We've missed out on 2 questions. I'll very quickly answer those 2 questions, and then we come to the end of the session. One question is, what are some coding languages that's taught in the MA Economics program? If you go through the course structure of the MA Economics program, which is linked in the website, you will see that highly likely you'll be exposed to programming languages like Python, R, or Stata. One last question is, there's no specific syllabus which is mentioned for analytical reasoning. What should we mostly focus on? You've partly answered your question yourself. While there's no syllabus that can actually tell you what analytical reasoning is, it's the ability to logically break down your complex information, the complex problems into smaller parts. So the section in that in the entrance examination will help us assess the students on the basis of that, on the basis of your ability to actually logically break down, complex questions, complex problems in smaller parts, and to also understand the relationship between those parts, draw a conclusion based on the evidence and logic. So you'll have to think through a problem, spot those patterns, make sense of information in a very structured and a logical way is what analytical reasoning pattern, the section of analytical reasoning would demand you to do in the entrance examination. With that, we come to the end of the session. Thank you, Urmi and Jayati, again for participating in this session, in this discussion. I really appreciate you taking out times from your busy schedules and be present here to address all the questions that our audience have. Again, I'll thank my audience for joining us today. Please take a moment to share your feedback with us. The link to the feedback form will be provided to you in the chat box. Also note that the recording of this session will be available on Ashoka's YouTube channel in case you'd like to share it with your friends and family, in case you want to go back to all of the questions that we've answered in this session. Please note that the deadline to apply to the MA Economics program at Ashoka University is 30th of April 2025. So apply as soon as possible. Under any circumstances, we do not accept or acknowledge any requests of accepting applications after the deadline's passed. So we really urge you, we really request you and advise you, strongly recommend you to submit your applications by 30th of April. The application link again is provided in the chat box. In case you face any issues while you're filling up the application form, you can always write to us through inbox. If you have any other further questions, you need any further information regarding the MA Economics program, please feel free to write to us at economics@ashoka.edu.in. In case you have further questions for the financial aid office or the career development office, you can still write to economics@ashoka.edu.in and we'll connect you to the right offices. We'll connect you to Jayati's and Urmi's team. Once again, I thank our speakers for taking out your time to participate in this discussion. This brings us to the end of the session. Goodbye and all the best to my audience for your applications. Please let us know wherever we can help you. Send us emails and we'll be happy to answer all of your emails. And thank you again for joining us. Have a great rest of the evening. Take care of your health. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Urmi. Thank you, Jayati.